They would have to blow up the damn mountain to get rid of Mount Rushmore, and I don't think that they're gonna sacrifice the surrounding area to do that. So I don't think Mount Rushmore is going anywhere. But even if it's making a lot of money, like, it seems like nothing's off limits. Like, they're changing everything. They're changing stupid brands of food to, like, taking statues down and changing, like, not allowing certain movies to be on certain things anymore. Like, it's all fucked up. So, I don't know. It just kind of surprises me that, like, nothing is touching this show. It's not something I wanted to watch anyways, but I don't know. It's just something that's interesting. I guess not everything. Well, I guess not everything's up for grabs. I guess there are some things that are off limits. I guess if they make enough money. But yeah, back to Bill. Poor Bill. I felt so bad for him when he came back from that trip. He was like, why the fuck did I go? Why the fuck did I go? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I tried.
What's up? Anyone say hi or come on?
Him. Like, because I know his friends live far, and like, if he wants to go visit his friends, I'm not gonna stay. Like, no, you have to stay home. Like, I'm not that kind of person, so I always feel bad, so I encouraged him to go, because he was kind of, like, hesitant, but, like, I feel bad now, because I should have, like, I don't know, I think he needed the experience, though, just to, I don't know why, he just needed the experience.
Yeah. The story itself is pretty fucking hilarious. I still feel bad for making him come on that trip from Chicago to all the way across the Northeast, but it was funny. That's like the worst thing I've done as his friend. But whatever. We're not perfect. What's up? Anyone have anything to recommend, like a Luke Ford show or something? Or anyone want to come on? I'm just bored doing nothing tonight, drinking beer. Being a loser, being a bum.
For instance, you can predict with 100% accuracy the people who encourage this, the people who will grab the latest claim by an interest group and run with it. And it is always people who in the past had another way of trying to attack our societies, had a radical Marxist view of the world, for instance. We know this with the green issue, where, and again, like the rights issues I write about in this book, they succeed because they're not onto nothing, you know.
What's up? Anyone
green
want to come on or talk about it?
Is onto something with the environment and with our planet. But it has this hideous red interior which keeps exposing itself as desiring not a better relationship between ourselves and our environment, but, for instance, the end of capitalism.
Yeah.
And it's the same with this. I expose in each of the chapters that the people who make it repeatedly and desperately plain, that they believe, for instance, that being a woman should be merely the first step in a wider mission to bring down capitalism. Now, I don't think most women are on board with that, and most women would be rather surprised to be utilized in this fashion. But that is very clearly and explicitly, and I quote the various scholars and writers who've been pushing this for years, this is explicitly the aim. And it's why, as I say, you can always predict exactly who is going to latch onto the latest claim. When, for instance, the big bearded man with male genitalia wins the women's weightlifting competition, you can predict with 100% accuracy who is going to say, yeah, what's the problem with that? And the people who are going to say, I'm not sure Clive, the big weightlifter, should be winning the women's category. You can predict it. And the people who say, why have you got a problem with that, bigot, are always the same people who believed in the past that our societies needed to be pulled apart in another fashion. And now they'd like to do it in this fashion.
So, this what might be called, I think accurately, cultural Marxism, and people groan and say, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
But in reality, it is the case, isn't it, that from the 20s on, Frankfurt School, and in the 30s, you had Gramsci and so forth, saying there's a problem in the overthrow of capitalism. The working classes are not rising up.
Yes, they were always a letdown.
They're always a letdown. They haven't done the job for us. So we need to find a different way to achieve
Yes.
the same objectives, and it's to attack the cultural underpinnings of Western society. In particular, I would have thought things like capitalism itself, democracy,
Nation
of course,
state.
but also Christianity and the
Yeah,
churches, and family. Family. So the great loser out of a lot of this, frankly, I would say, these culture wars, are our children.
Yeah.
You know, we've deconstructed the family in
Yeah.
so many ways, and this further attacks the environment in which our kids grow up.
Yeah.
I've never quite understood
Enoch's
how,
still fucking banned.
though, the cultural Marxists managed to so capture academia in the West, and particularly, it seems to me, in the English-speaking countries.
Oh, well, that's easy. I mean, first of all, academics can be, I think, fairly characterized as not among the bravest people in the world. That once they get tenure, they become very comfortable in position. They are, this isn't always the case, but they are to a considerable extent, as long as they tick the right boxes and have the right views, an unusual beast in nature, and they have no predator. They are able to have a very comfortable position in which they should express perhaps uncomfortable discoveries, but the comfort of recent decades has become the comfort of espousing and following a basically culturally Marxist view of the world. The literature, the evidence of this is so overwhelming now, particularly from America, it has to be said. And there are reasons within that why that's the case. I mean, look at the amount of money that people now run up to get an education in America. It's happening in the UK as well, but if you massively increase the number of people who go to university and think they should go to university, you can't keep up a system that rewards people for having gone to those universities. And you create a Ponzi scheme, which is what academia has to a great extent become, where social science departments grow and grow, where the human resources departments grow and grow. I can't remember the multiple now, but it's only like 3 or 4 times more money is now spent in the American Academy on the purely bureaucratic elements of it than even 20 years ago, which means that young people in countries like America are running up massive debt in a Ponzi scheme that cannot reward them, because there aren't roles at the end of it for all of these people with the degrees they're given. I think, by the way, there's a massive amount of resentment coming in the next few years from the people who realize they've been had.
I think this is one of the great dangers, frankly, for Western society. I agree with you.
But to go back to the origins of why academics might be in this position, I mean, let me put it another way, and this is one that will make me enormously unpopular with some remaining friends in academia, but it's also the case that to a great extent this isn't where the bright people have gone in recent years. Tell me, outside of specific sciences and competences, tell me a situation where in the last 20 years we would say, this is a really big problem. Let's go to the universities and ask them for the answer. When in recent decades we've had massive issues, have we been saying, We must ask the professors what they think. No, we haven't, for all sorts of reasons, but one of them is they're not very good at giving us the answers anymore. And by the way, the place you'd go last for an answer would be the Gender Studies Department of a West Coast university. You know, let's go and see what they can tell us about the sexes. Oh, there aren't sexes, there's just 100 genders, including 2 spirit people we just invented yesterday. Oh great, they're useful. This is a useful department. Thank goodness kids are getting into massive debt being lied to by these people. They've lost in large part the competence they had. And I think that there's all sorts of reasons for that. As I say, among other things, a massive expansion of that sector beyond where it should have gone.
Well, astonishing. And one of the reasons it matters now is that such a high proportion of young people in the West go through university.
Yeah.
And then they filter out into teaching our children, into the media, into all sorts of influential places. Now the boardrooms, they've become
Right.
centres of great wokeness
Yes.
in our country.
Yes, of course they have. I mean, it used to be said the only small c conservatives you would find in a university were generally in the economics departments. They would also always have Marxists in the economics departments. But you'd often find that was where some conservatives were, because the economics still needed conservative thought. That's not the case so much anymore. And it's certainly not the case in the humanities. And the evidence and what studies have been done show just the overwhelming preponderance of Marxists, self-identifying socialists and others. You know, I've often said in recent years, the only place you can really find open, radical Marxists after the Cold War closes is in the university system, although now we also have it in our political system, so that's a development.
Yo, what's up, Gilbert? That was Douglas Murray. I was just playing a random video. Do you want to come on? Or do you want me to try to entertain you? I see Kato's doing a show, but like I said, hey, I'm not doing anything. Can I come on? But he's kind of bigger stream than me, so I don't think he's gonna have me on. But I'm just chilling. What video do I want next? Supposedly there's 3 people in here, but nobody talking, you know what I mean? Alright, you got an email? Oh, throw out the link? Yeah, I could... Fuck, like, it's good that I'm doing this with no one available, because no, it alright, so I'm trying to do a chat, but it's saying, alright, new group. Alright, I'll just start a meeting. Okay, I got it. Just hold on a sec. Just hold on 2 secs. It's meetings. I tried to do Hangouts, but I couldn't figure out how to generate a link. Like, I must just be really stupid. No recent chats. Okay, start a new one. Yeah, you can just click that. Well, join this unless you don't want to. Unless you don't. Yeah, just join this. Holy shit. Hello? Hello?
No.
What's up? Oh, you know we're on camera, right? Oh, okay. Find someone. Yeah, it's the same thing as okay, well then give me your email. Cuz I don't know how to generate I know how to generate a link like this. You can just join that one. Or I can try to generate a meeting, but like I said, I'm just stupid with this. I was trying to do a thing with Conops the other day. Okay, there you are.
You hear me?
Yeah, it's
Yo.
the same thing. Okay, well
What's
then
up?
give me your email.
Hang on, I just got to turn off the.
'Cause I don't know how to generate
Is that your feedback or mine?
a link like this. You can just join now.
Yeah, I think you're getting feedback. What's up, man? You left.
Hello?
Yo, what's up? All right, you're good.
All right.
You
Yeah.
You got audio.
Okay.
You're not on camera.
You see me or no?
No. I just see your baseball
Okay.
player guy.
All right.
So what's up, man? I haven't really talked to you. I think I've been on like 1 or 2 streams with you. You're kind of
Yeah,
quiet.
yeah. I've been on a couple streams. I've been on Claire's once, and
OVs.
I don't know if I was on his channel. I think I was on Judas's channel, and when Ovi came on for a bit.
Well, because I thought I remember you being on with OV. Of course, OV is a fucking asshole, but so we're a lot of people. So
Yeah.
anyway, what's up with you? What's on your mind? Me, I'm just not with my girlfriend this weekend. I'm just having a beer, chilling. My friends didn't want to come on stream, so I just started and I was surfing the internet. And that's about it. Kato's doing a show soon. If you know Kato, he's pretty funny.
Oh, Kyle Rowland?
No,
yeah,
no, not Kyle Rowland. Kato, who does a show with Godfrey.
I don't know who that is. Is he like, what is he like, alt-right or something?
Sort of. They would be called the Gewalt right because they're both Jews or part Jews. But do you know Paul Gottfried?
Yeah, I think I know who he is. He's supposed to be the guy who coined the phrase alt-right or something.
Exactly. I was just thinking that. I'm just gonna drop his YouTube thing in a chat. That's his channel, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I was just chilling, bored. None of my friends wanted to come on, so we're on together. So what's up with you? What's on your mind?
Oh, nothing. I just like to cruise these streams and stuff, and I guess I'm pretty, far left compared to most of these people on these streams,
Well,
So
are
I
you
just-
like far left, or are you just anti-alt-right, or like anti-Nazi, or whatever?
Yeah, I guess you would say I'm more like, I'm like a Bernie Sanders supporter, so I guess you would call that sort of far left,
Right, I got you. So,
Yeah.
like, don't give away your privacy or anything if you don't want to, but you're like, you like in the New York City area or something like that?
No, I'm basically in Southern California.
Oh, no shit. Okay. Because I guess in your mind you always think like people are in such a place, but it makes a difference. Man, Southern California is so nice. I mean, the landscape and the weather, but not all the other associated problems and the prices and stuff like that. But
Yeah, it's nice if you have a lot of money, if you can afford
Yeah.
to live a
yeah,
nice
definitely. That's what I would say to OV because, like, I don't really just know his situation or whatever, but he was living in Newport Beach, and I kind of knew that was a rich area anyway, but I visited my friend in San Diego and drove that area, and it's just like, I mean, they shoot TV shows, like, and not redneck TV shows, like rich and glamorous TV shows.
Right.
That should be better now. I was about to
Oh,
start speaking, but
shit.
I noticed that my
Sorry.
earphones were still. I'm very
I had the window open, then Kato just came on. Oh shit.
Oh.
glad to be here. It is a later than usual
I don't know if he's going to answer
live
my
stream,
request.
but I figured why not since I have the time. And my image is skipping.
But-
Let me see.
Go ahead, talk.
Let's see. Let's wait
Oh
a
yeah, what you're
second.
saying about there's a lot of nice areas in Southern California, but there's also a big homeless problem, as you probably know. I mean,
Well, San Francisco especially. Yeah, and LA area.
Should be better now.
well, yeah,
At least I hope it is.
everywhere it's going
Yes,
because
apologies for the skippiness of the video, but
I
this
think
does happen anyway.
it's the economy basically. The whole system is it's geared toward the rich and the wealthy, and I guess the middle class is getting squeezed out. And,
No, but like if I wasn't rich, well, I mean, I moved to the middle of the country, but like I wouldn't even try to make it in Southern California. I would just go to Texas or like Nevada or Oklahoma. There's a lot of celebrities that have moved to Vegas because it's just so cheap. And it's like you can go to LA any weekend, any day. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Vegas
Yeah.
is more like Texas and Southern California. It's just like open land, open desert.
Up this hour, I'm the one who's on call. Well, I had a late start yesterday, I should say, and I got some work done before, and so.
But OV was talking about like, oh, I live in Orange County, and I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. But you know how these? Oh, hang on, he's responding to my comments.
Want someone to stream with? I'll come on looking for someone. Come on my stream, but no one is out there. It'll just be a solo stream tonight, all right, Talk. But thank you very much for the offer.
Oh, Kato turned down my request to come on his stream. Oh well, can't win them all. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. These circles that we go in are interesting.
yeah, I was following your tweets about Norvin and this Vic Mackey guy and all that, and I guess these guys are getting caught. I guess. Whether
Yeah.
Their own.
It's all Northern California, but like whatever. Not that it really matters that much, but these people are fucking nuts. I don't know if you watched the Luke Ford stream, but
Yeah.
I happened to wander on. I saw in a chat they mentioned this guy Transvaal, or he goes by. I did a really
Oh yeah.
a really
It stands. I know what it stands for. It stands for. There ain't anything like a free lunch or something like that. That's what it's supposed to stand for.
Shit, I can't remember the name. I did a really shitty quality video earlier, just talking about it because if I hold off on making the videos, I got too many things to talk about. So I try to make like one a day, unless I don't have anything to talk about, then I don't make a video. But I try to do like one a day, even if it's really short. And god damn it, why can't I find it? Because I can't remember the guy's name, but okay, Luke Ford has done a lot of edgy interviews. Like he's interviewed Mike Enoch and a lot of these famous names. But this guy was just totally deadpan. Like, I hate the Jews. They're the source of all the problems. Fuck them. And I was just like, wow, this is really intense. He has a blog, similar to like a lot of people's blogs.
Yeah, I've seen his blog. He's actually a pretty good writer.
Transafal?
Tanstoffel.
Tanstoffel. Okay, what
Tanstoffel.
does that mean? Something in German?
No. It's supposed to be. It's an acronym for. There's some like there ain't anything like a free lunch. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
Well, I read it somewhere. It's an acronym for that's what I thought it was German too when I first saw it, and then I heard someone say what it was, and the funny thing is he got a lot of flack from the dissident right because apparently his his wife is either part Jewish or something like that. So.
Well, he talked about it on the stream, and like a lot of people on the alt right, like it's hard to know what's joking and what's sort of like trolling. You know what I mean? So they'll make a lot of edgy jokes and be like, "Oh, it's just a joke." It's very common, but this guy is just deadpan, and he's like, if what would his wife think, right? It's like, yeah, I regret marrying a Jewish woman, but I wasn't woke then, and this and that, and it's just like, what the fuck? These people are just, the fact that they think this is normal, or red pill, which is a totally subjective term, they think this is like the truth. But to me, when these people say red pill, or like Melky says I'm red pilled, I take that as being totally diluted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are falling into that. I mean, only in the last few years, like you know that guy Faraday Speaks. You ever seen his videos?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know who that is.
That's his name is Caleb Kane, and he used to be like he was a far right and the alt right, and then he sort of like came out of it.
Did he debate Mike Enoch kind of recently?
He might have. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Is he the guy that wears the suits?
No, I don't think he wears a suit.
Okay.
He's just like he's only young. He's only pretty young. He's like in his early 20s or mid 20s. But yeah, he has some pretty good videos where he describes how he got involved in the alt right and how he get sucked into more and more extreme videos, and how they how it works. So
that's what I could feel like. I can do a good analysis because am I typing his name right? I'm trying to look him up. Calib.
No, Caleb, I believe. Kane, Cain.
Oh, here he is. Okay. Oh no, I don't know this guy. But like, okay, when these guys get totally hooked on the JQ, I mean, yeah, Jews are. It scares them, it concerns them, but at the end of the day, the people most affected are the people that believe this bullshit. It's just like. I mean, yeah, you have cases of discrimination or even terror attacks that are rare, luckily, but still too common.
Yeah, I mean, there was one right here in Southern California. This kid, he was a very promising, like he was a pianist, and he was like well off. He was a really good student. So he goes in and he like shoots up a synagogue or something. And now he's probably going to face life in prison.
Well, fuck him. I don't care what his punishment is. I mean, as long as he doesn't get out. But wasn't that the case where, yeah, a woman died, but they jumped into action? It could have been a lot worse because the guy had like a machine gun.
Yeah, I don't remember the particulars. I don't think he killed too many people. He may have only like wounded someone. I'm not sure, but
I think he killed one woman, and the rabbi's fingers got shot off.
Yeah,
which is like considering what could have happened. That's not that bad.
Yeah, and he put out one of those manifestos, like the guy that shot up the mosque in New Zealand, and
oh god, like the bot and El Paso.
Yeah, and like the Pittsburgh guy too. So, and they're like, justifying what they did, and
well, I think it's a serious threat. Like, there's kind of a lull right now, but it kind of comes in bunches. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean, now these people are serious. I mean, they have the means and they have the motivation. They have a lot of guns, and they're definitely dangerous.
It's more about the ideas, because like you've seen these terrorist attacks, the ISIS people with a van or a truck, and they can kill a lot of people. It's just about the will. Some people are really sophisticated, like the Vegas shooter. You know, like most people are not going to have nearly that amount of sophistication. And I think he shot like a couple hundred people and killed about 50.
Yeah.
But most people aren't going to have that amount of sophistication. But you can almost cause as much damage with a truck if you know what you're doing.
Well, I don't know if it's been, we don't really know if that Vegas shooter, what his motivation was. Was it the personal freak out, or was it motivated? Nobody knows for sure.
The conspiracy theorists, people think, you know, well, they have a fucking theory about everything, right? But they never really uncovered a clear motive. It kind of seemed like thrill seeking, or he was just really bored and misguided, so he wanted to do something. Like, or he was an older white guy, right? So it's like, why would a right wing psychoterrorist shoot up a bunch of conservative white people? And like, unless he was some kind of crazy leftist or anti-racist, some shit. I mean, either way, the guy was totally whacked. But
Right.
your conspiratards are going to say, oh, the CIA put him up to it, the FBI put him up to it, etc., etc. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, how did you come into this? Who did you watch? Did you watch a lot of Luke Ford or somebody else?
Yeah, it must have been either Luke Ford or Claire or one of these streams, and then I realized that, you know, there's a cross fertilization, all these different streams, they all go on each other's streams, you know, and so you sort of realize there are the same people on all these different streams, you know, and like a little circle. So
Yeah, but like, why do you indulge? Because you don't agree with these people, but you obviously take an interest.
no, well, it's just fascinating, you know, it's horrifying in a way, but you know, it's also interesting. I mean, you try to understand where they're coming from and where they're getting their ideas, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you put in some good comments, which unfortunately I don't think they have much effect. But I was even watching an old Melky stream that you had a comment in, but he was really intense, you know.
Yeah, well, Melky's a pretty smart guy. I mean, he's what is it? He was like a English professor or something, so he's pretty well read on a lot of stuff. But yeah, he's got this thing about the Jews. I guess he's just obsessed with the Jews, and
But like there's a lot of low tier people that hate Jews or whatever, but he's so sophisticated. He reads history and he works it into the history. He works it into the Bible and the Torah. And, you know, like, I mean, I still think it's bullshit, but he's able to do such a good job. He's almost like one of these extreme imams that can radicalize. You know what I mean?
right.
Like, he's not preaching violence or anything like that, but he is making some pretty edgy kind of propositions. So, like, he is a radicalizer of people.
I think he's also kind of anti-Catholic too. So
Yeah,
he's getting in a lot of debates with that Paul Talk guy, you know, because he's sort of more of a Catholic traditionalist or something.
yeah, it's true. But well, I mean, I don't understand a lot of that. I mean, I'm dating someone who's Catholic, and I go to church out of respect for her. But, you know, I make it pretty well clear, like, I'm just here to respect you. But, you know, don't try to make me do all this Catholic shit. Like, if I have to kneel to be polite and, you know, do whatever, okay, fine. But don't try to make me eat this stuff, you know what I mean? Well, it's like every religion has something to offer. So, like, yeah, I want to know what they're talking about, but don't try to make me be a convert type of thing, you know what I mean? But,
Yeah, I'm pretty much an atheist myself. I mean, yeah, I'm ethnically Jewish, but I was never like never religious or anything. So
Right. I'm agnostic, basically. Which Kyle Rowland says there's no difference between agnosticism and atheism, but I don't know. I think there's a little bit of difference.
I mean, I respect religious people that are sincere and do good
I respect
things.
them as long as they're not shitting on other people. As long as it's not this what's the word? Supersessionism, where it's like, oh, we have Christianity now, so that means your religion is kaput, and we don't like atheists either. It's like, no, you practice your shit, and I practice my shit. If there's some type of problem, if you have a problem with me, then I have a problem with you. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, I think any kind of religious extremism is pretty toxic. I mean, there's a lot of toxic Jewish religious extremism, and I've experienced that. I remember there's this one girl. It's like she was like really like a hardcore, Israeli supremacist, like the Jews, that God gave Israel to the Jews, and just totally, that it's just ridiculous, just can't argue with people like that.
Yeah, but like,
And-
does her belief interfere with anybody else's? I mean, maybe like the Palestinians. Like, if someone's a Zionist and they're like, I'm a Zionist and only Jews can live in Israel, it's like, okay, because nobody else really wants to live in Israel. You know what I mean?
No, but she was actually worse because she was one of those Messianic Jews who believe in Jesus Christ. So they're like, they say they're still Jews, but yet you have to. They try to prove that the Old Testament is always pointing the way to that Jesus was the Messiah, and that Jews have to.
Oh,
recognize
so she was
that.
really a Christian.
Well, she would say she's really a Jew, but the quote unquote Messianic Jews. So they're like, yeah, we're Jews, but we really we believe in Christ too. So like, regular Jews don't recognize them as Jews anymore because they're basically Christians. So of course they deny that.
Well, there's all I mean, there's so many branches and stuff, and I was reading about the Black Hebrew Israelites, and there's a bunch of them that live in Israel, like a few thousand of them. They live in Dimona. Have you been to Israel?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's pretty nice. Actually, well, now's not a good time to go because of COVID, but if you could go there, there'd be like no competition for tourists, But yeah, it's really amazing, really beautiful. But yeah, so I don't know if you're familiar with Black Hebrew Israelites, but basically,
Oh
like,
yeah, I've seen them. I think they're nuts. I mean,
they are fucking nuts. This
they go on the
movement's-
street corner and they do these rants against people and stuff.
Yeah, they're fucking
Yeah.
crazy. They started like around 1900, 1893 or whatever. And basically, it's about a Bible interpretation that blacks are the real Jews. And it's like, okay. And so they went to Israel, and apparently they're not citizens, but they like live there. I don't know, it's weird. The immigration in Israel is complex. It's not like in the U.S. where it's easier to get status,
Yeah, and then you have those Christian identity people who believe that they're the descendants of the true Jews, and they became like the English people, the Celtic peoples,
I don't even know. I don't even know what that is, but
Yeah, it's a strain of like Christianity that it's called Christian identity. I think they also call it Anglo-Israelism. Yeah, and the theory was that the 10 lost tribes, that their theory is that the 10 tribes of Israel that disappeared from history, they actually wound up in like Northern Europe and sort of like became the English and the British Celtic peoples.
is that
That's
related
their
to the Aryan nations? Like, is that what spawned the Aryan nations? The Aryan nations is the church. It's basically a cross between, I think, what you're talking about and Nazism, where they
Oh
actually
yeah,
they
I
actually
think
preach that
pretty
like
much straight to the Nazi, but I don't know if they're really Christian identity so much. I know they hate Jews, but I don't know if they subscribe to the theory that they were the 10 lost tribes or anything. That's just it's a
okay,
sort
that
of
might be
separate
something else, but
thing.
the Aryan nations actually has like in their book that I don't know, it's something crazy. It's like the snake gave birth to the Jews, or the snake had an affair with Eve, and that gave birth to the Jews. You know, like children, literally children of the devil. I don't know exactly what it is.
Right.
Maybe.
Right. That might have been that what's his name? Ben Klassen. He's one of these creativity movement. Have you heard of that one?
That's something else.
Yeah, it's related. It's all really anti-Semitic groups. They're like different.
Oh, this is the guy that's the I watched a documentary. It had something to do with damn it, I can't find it. What's that sound? Is that me or you? That's you. Okay.
I don't think it's me. Anyway,
I don't know. I just heard a ringing. But actually, let me see if I can just look real quick. I saw the Aryan nations. It was up in northern Idaho. Do you remember that shootout? It was damn it, I can't remember the name, but they had Ruby Ridge and then Waco, and it was some other shooting.
yeah,
The famous one.
yeah. Ruby Ridge was pretty famous. I can't think of another one.
It was in Idaho too. Randy Weaver. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, Randy Weaver.
Yeah, he was tied in with the Aryan nations. And like, if you just look at these people in the church, they're fucking psycho.
Yeah, a lot of them are. I mean,
But this is what I'm saying. Like these people, like Norvin, that hate minorities and these other crazies. It's like, why don't you move to a compound like that? And it's like, life might not be perfect, but at least you're around your own kind. You know what I mean?
well, I guess a lot of them are tied by their situation, whether I don't know they're living at home, whether they're on disability.
Yeah, but like, if you hate black and brown people that much, you would just go and live in the woods and do a shack, like
well, some people do. Like I think
like the tent
Patrick
shed.
Steedman does. So
Yeah,
Patrick
that's what he
Steedman-
says. Is that really the truth? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but I wanted to see like the church, because it was just really weird to see people in a church doing like a Hitler salute.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, I don't know. I think I don't know. I've never seen this country so polarized, and I've been around for a while, and it's getting. It seems like we're heading towards some kind of civil war situation. The way it's going,
It's really bad. I mean, like, even though these alt-right people are crazy, the stuff they're complaining about is
yeah. As far as like I don't agree with a lot of the stuff the Antifa is doing. I think
oh,
they're
Antifa. I hate Antifa. Like, I want Antifa and white nationalists to battle and battle.
well, I
each
think
other.
a lot of their tactics they're playing into the hands of the Trump and like extreme right. You know, they're saying, look, you guys are more violent. You guys are the danger and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
they should allow. You know, they should be. You know, try to be more like Martin Luther King, more non-violent and that kind of stuff. But
Trump's in a bad shape. You know, like like he could win, but it just seems like he's fuck. I mean, things can't get much worse, right? At the end of the day, he's the president.
I think he's the worst president we've ever had. There's no question about that. He's not presidential material by any means. He just does. He's not equipped for the job. I mean, everything he does is motivated by his own self-interest.
Yeah, but then we got Biden.
Yeah, he's certainly like not my first choice. He is getting kind of senile.
Do you know this guy, Yehuda Bauer? Oh shit, I just clicked on it.
No.
He's a Holocaust historian. He's Israeli. Well, he escaped from Poland back in the day, but he talks about the Holocaust. He's pretty interesting. He has some lectures. That's Yad Vashem. That's the Holocaust Museum out of Israel.
Yeah, there's one commentator I like on YouTube. He's a German guy, but he does really good educational, factual videos. Countering some of the alt-right ideas. His name is channel is Three Arrows. Have you heard of this guy? Dan Three Arrows.
No, let me look him up. How do you spell it?
I think his channel is just Three Arrows.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Do you know how to spell his name? Because I can only do letters.
Oh, I don't know his real name. I think he goes by the name Dan. Is like his first name. He doesn't. I
Three
know
Arrows.
his last.
Is this it?
Can't. Are you showing it in the chat or
I
something? I
think
don't
it's
know
in
where.
the screen. It's just on a delay.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll show up in a second, I think.
I'm not watching the stream because I think I'd get feedback. I don't want to.
Oh, okay. Three Arrows.
You see it?
Oh, what is he? Black Pigeon Speaks.
Actually, if you go to my channel, I have a link. I think I have a link to his channel on my channel. But I like that channel because you can't say the guy's like a Jew or something. He's a German guy. He's not.
Yeah, but if you're not a Jew, then you're a Sabish Goy. You know how that works.
Right.
But these people are just insane. And it's so hard to tell who is LARPing or doing an act. I think Mike Enoch, at least in part, is a troll. But people believe him, How do you spell Salgado?
Oh, Salgado. And you find it on YouTube. Just put, yeah. I have the avatar of the baseball player.
Yeah. Who's that again?
Mo Berg. Interesting character.
Yeah, you were talking about him, but I forget.
Yeah, he was a baseball player in the 30s, and he was actually he's working for the CIA as a spy to determine if the Nazis were working on an atomic bomb. So he went there pretending to be a friend of some a Swiss scientist or something.
I think I remember that. Wait, where do I go to find this guy again? Playlist, channels, videos?
Oh, Three Arrows?
Yeah, you said it was on your account.
Oh, it's under. Look under my links or my I have channel links on there on the right side. I think.
Oh, Bo with the fifth
Yeah.
column. Do you like him? Oh, Three
Yeah.
Arrows. Okay, that's what I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that
he's
guy.
kind of this
Bo of
rednecky guy. Where does he live? Georgia?
Who? Bo of the Fifth Column?
No. Yeah.
I think he lives in Florida. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, hey, Florida is the only. It's the only state where the more north you go, the more south you go. You heard that?
oh yeah, yeah. He's. I think he used to be like a government contractor or like a. What do you call him? Not a.
So which
Yeah, he was like-
which video should I watch?
Oh, like well, Three Arrows. There's a lot of good ones. I think he did one on like the Holocaust or something like that, or like, he did some good ones countering what the alt right and.
Oh,
kind
that's
of-
weird. Debunking the alt right pool parties.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh yeah, but I know that because that's just basic bitch shit. But dumb people. But it still could be a good video. Oh, let me just type in alt right. It's just so dumb. I don't know. How to fall down the anti-SJW. That's not alt right, but denial
Yeah.
is a tool of the radical right. Actually,
Right.
let me look at his most popular videos and read them. And then I just had to get up for a second, so I'll just play it and then leave maybe. How to fall down the anti-SJW rabbit hole. Jordan Peterson doesn't understand Nazism. Was Hitler a socialist? The Crusades, blah blah blah. Guns and I've definitely come across these videos. Deutschland by Ramstein, an analysis. Denial as a tool of the radical right. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! It's a President Trump ad.
Yeah, there's so much content on YouTube. You can spend your entire life watching these videos.
Look, it's another Trump ad. It must know that I'm a bigot and is.
Hey guys, today I want to talk about branding and the biggest obstacle that the alt-right faces, which...
Yeah. Hey, I got to take a bathroom run and just get a drink real quick. But
All right, I gotta go too. It was really nice. It was nice chatting with you, though.
yeah, hey, good luck and
Yeah.
don't let the crazy people get to you.
All right. See. All right. Talk to you later.
All right, ciao.
All right. Bye.
Yo, what's up, Jiggity? I don't know how to say her name. I was just about to get up. I don't know. Gilbert suggested this video, so when I get up, I'm just playing it.
keeps them from entering the mainstream in any significant way. And
But
that is the historical precedent
stick
that
around
their
for 5
ideas set in
minutes, we'll
Germany, in which everyone in the West is taught in school. As soon as the alt-right talks about things like white identity and a homeland for their people, the average person smells the stench of Nazism coming from them. The biggest problem they have is that the public already knows what the alt-right wants and where their ideas will lead. Today I want to examine a couple of approaches that the alt-right uses to get rid of this association. As far as I can see, there are 3 main groups in the alt-right. There are people like Tara McCarthy who don't deny things like the Holocaust, and it's extremely funny to see her clash with her ideological peers over this from time to time.
I'm actually a 4th generation Holocaust survivor, believe it or not. You know, I do have compassion and empathy toward other ethnic groups, but I also have compassion and empathy toward...
4th generation. Well, this part of the alt-right is not interesting for today's topic, so let's look at the other 2. Then we have people like Richard Spencer, who spend most of their time advertising for the alt-right. From time to time he runs into the problem I described earlier, and pay attention how he responds.
Will you denounce Adolf Hitler? I heard you don't denounce Adolf Hitler when asked about that.
Adolf, National Socialism was a disaster. The 20th century was pretty much a disaster. From
Yeah,
my
but do you
opinion.
denounce the
But I'm
actions
not
of
gonna-
Adolf Hitler?
I'm not gonna play this game.
Oh, it's
where
not a
you
game.
Throw out historical figures and I denounce them. I mean, do you denounce Stalin? Do you denounce Pol Pot? I mean, look.
Yeah.
The National Socialist Germany. It's part of history. It's not who I am.
Note how he acts kinda baffled by the question and gives an answer that could be interpreted in several different ways. While he doesn't denounce the crimes of the Nazi regime, his answer could be used as a shield whenever someone accuses him of being a Nazi, namely that he calls National Socialism the disaster of the 21st century. And even if he pretends to not really understand why he's even asked this question, you can be sure his response is something he thought about a lot. He then goes on to ask the interviewer if he denounces Stalin, and with that wants to make it look just as legitimate as to ask him if he denounces Hitler. He wants to give the watcher the impression that there is no connection at all to what happened in Germany 70 years ago and what he is trying to achieve. Later in the interview with David Pachman, Richard Spencer actually hints at why he doesn't address this issue at all.
I'm not going to be burdened by history.
The fact is that Richard Spencer and the entire movement he represents is burdened by history in a major way, and they desperately want to cleanse themselves of the association with Nazi Germany. The way Spencer wants to achieve this is to avoid the subject altogether, because simply speaking about it manifests a certain image in the bystander's mind. That's why interviews like this, where Richard Spencer is essentially selling his ideology, is really good for the alt-right, while stuff like this is disastrous for them. The last group in the alt-right are people like Mike Enoch, who instead of avoiding the topic, work on establishing the Holocaust as a myth, and by extension removing part of the negative image of Nazi Germany
Mike Enoch.
to also lift the burden of his movement.
And if you actually listen to somebody talk about the gas chambers, the way that narrative is constructed is sort of the way that conspiracy theories are constructed.
The first part of this process is to evoke skepticism about key aspects of the Holocaust in people like Andy, and then to move on from there. Once they have reached the goal to convince the audience that maybe there were no gas chambers.
So yeah.
This is all very interesting shit. I've never heard this angle before, to be honest with you.
The next step is drawing a moral equivalence between the Allies and the Axis by comparing the internment of Jews to the internment of Japanese, making Nazi Germany look just as reasonable as the US at that time. This way, they can present World War II as just like any other war, while cloaking the terrible things that happened in the Third Reich as collateral damage to the war effort, something that supposedly happens in every war.
Yeah, I mean, a state rounding up a potentially subversive enemy population within its own borders during a war is not really something the United
US
States
put
can be
Japanese in camps.
entirely
And
big-brained
if we
about
were
here.
too poor to fight,
Dude, the U.S.
if
put
the US
Italians
had
and
lost
Germans in
and been
camps.
too poor to fight, those Japanese would have starved.
Dude. The U.S. put Italians and Germans in camps. They just don't tell you that because they're white.
This trivializing of the horrors of the Nazi regime also serves a secondary purpose though. Even if you have someone convinced that World War II was just like any other war, you do not necessarily have him convinced that fascism is a desirable political goal. Here the groundwork of Mike's previous claims comes in handy, since it allows him to not only present the Holocaust as false or misrepresented, but as a lie and a tool by the Jewish community to dominate over what he perceives as the white race.
Like there's all these lurid, really graphic, lurid tales that frankly, what do they
That
sound like?
only Jews can come up with.
What do they sound like? What do they sound like? They
Holocaust
sound
is
like fucking movie scripts, right? They sound like something from a movie, and who makes movies? Oh god! Fucking Jews!
This allows him to present the white race as a victim and his proposals as a solution. And in that sense, the alt-right is trying to make up ground in the same way that the Nazis did. They present their society as a harmonious, organic nation that is infected by an external intruder, which threatens the survival of the race itself. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let me read you two short quotes. Why the big lie? What is its purpose? In the first place, it has been used to discourage any form of nationalism. Should the people of Britain or any other European country attempt to assert their patriotism and preserve their national integrity in an age when the very existence of nation-states is threatened, they are immediately branded as neo-Nazis. Because, of course, Nazism was nationalism, and we all know what happened then. 6 million Jews were exterminated. So as long as the myth is perpetuated, people everywhere will remain bondage to it. The need for international tolerance and understanding will be hammered home by the United Nations until nationhood itself, the very guarantee of freedom, is abolished. This is not the only way the radical right sees the Holocaust as a burden for their movement. In their mind, the Jews want to weaken Western society through immigration and with the Holocaust as a tool to reach that. Many countries of the Anglo-Saxon world, notably Britain and America, are today facing the gravest danger in their history. The danger posed by the alien races in their midst. Unless something is done in Britain to halt the immigration and assimilation of Africans and Asians into our country, we are faced in the near future, quite apart from the bloodshed of racial conflict, with the biological alteration and destruction of the British people as they have existed here since the coming of the Saxons. If you're familiar with alt-right talking points, this will not be the first time you heard these arguments, especially the one of biological alteration. I didn't get this text from 4chan on alt-right subreddit though. It is from a short pamphlet called "Did 6 Million Really Die?" by neo-fascist and member of the British National Front Richard Verrill, written in the mid-70s. It demonstrates perfectly why Holocaust denial is an essential tool in the rebranding of the far right. And they're even true to a certain extent. The Third Reich showed the entire world where the ideas such as the alt-right has can lead. Naturally, mankind has learned from this experience and realized how bad these ideas are, even if they sound like an easy solution to a complex set of problems. When talking about the rebranding of far-right ideas, there are a couple of ways they try to detach themselves from the association with the Nazis, and Holocaust denial is only one of many tools, like for instance constantly reinventing themselves as white nationalists or right or identitarians. Or the left quotes everyone they don't like Nazis trope, which is solely a tool to bring people to roll their eyes whenever the Nazi accusation is being made, to ultimately remove the word from the conversation altogether. Although I will admit that the term Nazi is used more loosely than it used to be. Members of the alt-right are not just being pedantic when saying things like Nazis only existed in the 30s and 40s as members of the National Socialist Workers' Party. It's all part of their goal of reinventing themselves. That people like Mike Enoch trivialize and flat out lie about the crimes of the Nazis doesn't stem from a passionate love for Hitler. Well, maybe it does to a certain extent, but the focus lies on the strategic value for him to make Nazi Germany look good. From this strategic standpoint, it really doesn't matter to the alt-right if the Holocaust happened, because the burden it shifts on their ideas is the thing they want to get rid of. And if you want to see this process of removing the burden actually work, you just have to watch the stream of Mike Enoch with Andy Worski, which I will link in the description. Lucky for us though, they are pretty dumb sometimes and can't contain themselves of giving Nazi salutes or chanting "Jews will not replace us." That's it for today's topic folks, but I have a bit of housekeeping to do, so you can stick around if you want. The channel is getting close to 1,000 subscribers, which is just insane to me. I know compared to other channels this is practically nothing, but for the time the channel exists and the amount of videos that are on it, this is phenomenal. And this is only due to you guys who spread these videos on Reddit or Twitter and the like to discuss them.
now.
I also really appreciate your feedback in the comments because it helps me get a better feel for you guys as an audience. And speaking of which, I was thinking about doing a Q&A when reaching the 1,000 subscribers. I have no guarantee that there will be enough questions to do a video, considering how small our community still is, but we'll see I guess. I've opened up a page on Curious Cat where you can post your questions if you want. Link is in the description and in my Twitter profile. The next video is gonna be a bit more lighthearted. Here's a teaser.
Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit.
It won't be coming out before after next week though, since I will be out of the country for a few days. And with that, I hope to see you next time. Have a good one.